It's been over 2 years since I ditched traditional shoes and started wearing barefoot shoes exclusively. And the question I've been wondering is, was it actually all worth it? And today, that's something I want to discuss, and hopefully you'll take away some of the things I've learned in that period of time since I transitioned to wearing barefoot shoes. If you're new to the concept of barefoot shoes, they're designed to mimic the feeling of walking barefoot. They have a wide toe box, a zero drop, meaning they don't have a raised heel, and a thin, flexible sole. The main thing that pulled me in and made me make the switch to these shoes was the promise of a more foot-shaped shoe with a wider toe box, and I was just curious how they would actually feel when I had them on my feet. The first thing I want to touch on is the transition phase. When I first started using barefoot shoes, my feet and calves were noticeably more sore than they would have been from wearing traditional shoes. That's completely normal. Your feet are waking up after years of being stuck in traditional cushion shoes, which are more supportive and do a lot of the work for you. I started off with shorter walks for maybe 30 minutes and gradually added more time and more distance, and over a period of months I built up to walking a full day wearing nothing but barefoot shoes. If you're having trouble transitioning into barefoot shoes, one of the things that I'd recommend is adding a slightly thicker insole during the earlier weeks and even beyond. You've got to be mindful of the surfaces you're walking on. If you're walking on hard stones and rocks, you're going to feel much more the ground and everything that's underneath your foot, which is going to be a strange sensation at first. Most barefoot shoes come with a thin insole, which is usually around 3mm. So if you use a slightly thicker insole, nothing too drastic, but you can double the insole up or buy something around 6mm. Some of the barefoot brands even offer a slightly thicker insole, such as Freet, and that will just add a little bit more extra cushion while you'll still get the benefits of the wide toe box and zero drop design. If you're going to go to the trouble of wearing barefoot shoes, one of the other things I recommend is getting yourself a pair of toe socks. Now these just complement the shoes really well as they allow your toes to spread out, whereas if you were wearing normal socks they're a bit more restrictive. Another thing I did to make the transition easier was I started to incorporate some foot exercises into my weekly routine. Now these would involve either kind of trying to space out the toes, massaging the bottom of my feet, doing things such as picking up a battery with my toes, which would help build up the extra toe strength and grip on the bottom of my feet, doing some toe curls with tib raises to strengthen the front part and the shins. Because of the zero drop aspect, you're going to be taking a bit more force, and it's going to be nice to strengthen that front part of your leg and have more natural shock absorption. And to balance it out, we're also going to want to hit the back of the legs, the calves, and that's going to strengthen the Achilles and the calf muscles, which are going to be doing more work from the zero drop aspect of the shoes, as mentioned before. And the other thing I did was tried to really work the big toe through a full range of motion and do a bit of self massage from my feet, feeling a little bit more sore from wearing more minimal shoes. To give a balanced view, let's talk about some of the negatives of barefoot shoes. Some of them, you could argue, aren't the best looking, although recently I've noticed that some of them are looking a lot better than they used to do in the past. They have a more stylish look, and the variety we have available now and the brands that are coming out means you've got more options for different styles and looks. Another thing I hear from time to time is they aren't great in cold weather unless you get the specific models that have got more insulation. Although if you look at Vivobarefoot, they have specific thermal insoles that are meant to trap more heat in the shoe and keep your feet warmer when you're in those colder conditions or living in a colder climate. And something else to touch on is if you've got foot issues or injuries, you definitely want to go slow at first and kind of build up over time, and everyone's going to have a different transition period, and that's a bit off-putting knowing that it's going to take a long time to transition and see those benefits. And another negative that's hard to dispute is barefoot shoes aren't cheap. A good pair will cost you a considerable amount of money, and I totally get that's a turn off for some people. In my case, the soles did wear down after about a year of use. That was with daily use, including walks, workouts, hikes and travel. For that kind of mileage, I see it as a solid return on investment, especially since wearing regular shoes would wear down just the same, if not quicker. So they're an upfront investment, but if you wear them regularly, they will pay off. And the other thing to add is shoes will get discounted and be available at cheaper prices. So if you buy them at the right time, you can get the shoes that you want at a more affordable price. You just have to look around or wait until a new shoe goes on discount. It's just the same as any other product that you would be purchasing. So after 2 years of barefoot shoes, would I do it again? Absolutely. My feet feel stronger, I feel like I move better, and feel more connected to the ground beneath me. If you're thinking about making the switch, start slow, build up, use foot exercises, and maybe throw in a thicker insole to get yourself started as you transition into a more minimal shoe and give your body time to adapt. I can't say that barefoot shoes are for everybody, but for me, they were totally worth it.